That was fast. I'm impressed. And you know what would impress me even more? If you tell me that you've successfully completed the contract. And collected the plans as well. Very good. These will be useful for tracking their movements. As soon as we have the resources, we'll rid Summerset of this filth once and for all. I thank you for your service. Live well and serve, Deputy. I could never imagine the newcomers would be this helpful to the Divine Prosecution's efforts. It's simply astonishing. The Cult of Finaster has petitioned us to recover articles of faith from Kingshaven Pass, so they may pay proper respects to their pilgrims lost there. Very significant work, just not pressing. So perfect for you. No, they're assuredly dead. Kingshaven Pass is very dangerous, teeming with goblins and griffins, but the cult considers the pilgrimage a test of faith. Recovering their articles would be viewed favorably by the religious authorities. The Divine Prosecution doesn't pay until the contract is complete, so get back to it. The items you're recovering are devotional, but also very personal. Objects with a deep spiritual connection to the departed. Through them, the priests will bless the fallen pilgrims' souls on their new journey. Of sorts. There will be a ceremony, but perhaps significance would have been a better choice of words. It'll bring proper closure for the departed and the survived. Every year there are a few who never complete their pilgrimage, but lately it's become a much more common occurrence. Patrols that would hold the goblins and beasts in check aren't a priority in these troubled times.
you're a member of the Mages Guild, aren't you? Please, you have to help me. The Sapiarchs accused one of our compatriots, my best friend, of a murder he didn't commit. They won't even consider the possibility that he's innocent. Another Sapiarch named Haladon. Emil arrived at the gates of Lilandril, carrying Haladon's body, and confessed to the crime. But he seemed shocked, confused. I know Emil better than anyone. He's not capable of something like this. I swear it. He's a pacifist for Mara's sake. The Sapiarch's investigation was a joke. They just took Emil at his word and handed down the sentence. Of course, the local guild magister rolled over like she always does. Coward. Please, I need your help. The Sapiarchs say Emil confessed to murdering Haladon, but he'd never murder anyone. He loved Haladon. I don't know if he's confused or disoriented, but I do know he wouldn't do it. Please, talk to Emil. Convince him to recant his confession. Emil and I are both members of the Mages Guild chapter here in Lilandril, and students of the guild's chief diplomat, Kalawende. As for our relationship, Emil is my dearest friend. Has been since we were both in diapers. I don't know if he'll listen to anyone, but I don't have a choice. The Sapiarchs and Mages Guild consider the matter settled, and they've forbidden me from speaking to Emil further. No one has forbidden you to speak to him. You can still reach him. He and Emil were very close. If you'd asked me before all this happened, I'd have wagered that one or the other was shopping for a ring of Mara. They had common interests, but more than that, they had common values. Gods, what a tragedy. Restoration magic, wards against disease and curses, that sort of thing. They'd been researching ways to prevent lycanthropy, vampirism, and other afflictions. You see, the Emil I know dedicated his life to healing people, not murdering them. Absolutely not. Emil's gentle as a lamb, and Haladon didn't have a conniving bone in his body. The tension between the guild and the Sapiarchs weighed on them a bit, but not so much that it would drive them apart. Like I said, Emil is innocent. An order of high elf scholars and mages. They walk the halls of power here in Summerset, observing and advising. Of course, there's a thin line between advising and ruling by proxy. They're not over fond of us guild mages. They think we're reckless. To the Sapiarchs, stepping in puddles is reckless. Not folding your linens is reckless. By their standards, my 90-year-old grandmother is wild as a foal in springtime. No, the guild values new ideas, novel approaches, but it's far from reckless.
If you insist on involving yourself in some vain investigatory charade, I won't stop you. But tread carefully. The Sapiarchs have little tolerance for amateur detectives. Who are you? Hand of Oriel, what has Queen Irene wrought? I am Sorataril, Sapiarch Master of Psychocartography, the mapping of orbic thought forms and dream phenomena. I also find myself saddled with the role of cultural attaché. I interact with all manner of strange and uncultured individuals, but yes, I maintain relations between my order and the Mages Guild's new arrivals. A trying enterprise. Please, if only for my sake, keep your business here peaceable, all right?
I don't have anything to say to you or anyone else. Please, go. Yes. She's wrong. What? No, no. They already did an investigation. I murdered Haladon. It was me. Why are you inserting yourself into matters that don't concern you? I murdered a Sapiarch. I accept responsibility and my punishment. Go away. I don't want your help.
You there! Why are you interrogating Emil? I am Kalawende, Chief Diplomat of the Mages Guild. I apologize for my tone. This has been a trying time. The Sapiarchs consider this matter closed, you know. What are you doing exactly? Who sent you? Our interests may align. Vivine, look, I've uncovered something odd as well. The Sapiarchs have made it very difficult for me to intervene directly. Perhaps you can help. Emil met a shady merchant named Galador prior to the murder. That's very out of character for him. That's what I came here to find out. But it seems Emil doesn't want to talk. Galador has deep connections to Lilandril smugglers and thieves. If you learn what Emil purchased from Galador, we might gain some insight into Haladan's murder. Galador stores his business ledger in one of the inn's larger suites. Unfortunately, he placed a hex on the book, making it impossible to read without a passphrase. If you discover the passphrase, you should be able to learn what Emil purchased. My contacts tell me that Galador left the city on business. Goodness knows what kind. No one will accost you while you investigate. Just be careful. It cannot become known the Mages Guild is investigating this matter after the Sapiarchs forbid it. She is tenacious. She often volunteers to help others. You won't find a more zealous advocate for the Mages Guild's goals and mission. In truth, I've never had a greater pupil, aside from Emil, of course. In my experience, people use talent as an excuse for idleness and lack of effort. Emil and Vivine both enjoy great natural ability, but Emil's focus on restoration magic indicates purer motives. He also works harder than anyone I know. Truthfully, I'd love to, but as a diplomat, I don't have that luxury. The Sapiarchs consider the matter settled, and officially our Mages Guild has accepted their ruling. I have a duty to preserve our relations with the Sapiarchs. It has exacerbated tensions that already exist. The Sapiarchs see this murder as evidence of our negligence. Members of the Guild resent it, so we're caught in something of a downward spiral. Yes, the guard who found Emil, Millerond, the Sapiarchs classified him as a Ryazen, a critical witness. Anyone with close ties to Emil is forbidden to speak with him, but not you. I'll find out where they've hidden Millerond. You look into Galador. here. I trust you were successful. My own inquiries were fruitful. I've learned where we must go next in this investigation. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you manage to break Galador's wards? What did you find? Honestly, what would Emil want with sheep's blood? And syringes? I'd suspect blood magic or chemical addiction if I didn't know Emil. Neither of those items are illegal. He must have bought them from Galador to keep the purchase a secret. I'll try to figure out what Emil wanted with these items. Meanwhile, I found the guard who arrested Emil, Millerant. I'm forbidden to speak to him, but you are not. The Sapiarchs moved Millerant to Lilandril's docks. Find out what he knows.
Welcome to Lilandril. Just off the boat. Lots of sailors coming and going. Just don't forget to submit your shipping manifests to the harbour master. Unless there's something else you need. Sad business, that. I was at my post when I saw Emil with a body slung over his shoulder. Once he reached the gate, he slid Haladan's corpse onto the ground and collapsed. He just knelt there sobbing, saying, "I killed him over and over." He didn't seem mad, if that's what you're asking, but he wasn't lucid either. When it comes to murderers, I've met more than my fair share, so you can trust me when I say Emil's no murderer. He might have killed Haladan, but it wasn't on purpose. Look, you need to promise me you'll keep this to yourself. Saltbreeze Cave is just south of here. Well-worn entrance, wizard's tools scattered about. I tried to tell the Sapiarchs about it, but your answers are in that cave. Guaranteed. This business with Emil was just too odd. Once the Sapiarchs convicted him, I had to find the truth of it. I took my coursing hound, Othelus, down to the gate and had him follow Haladan's blood trail. It led right to the mouth of that cave. No, Saltbreeze has a sour reputation. It used to be a popular haunt for the city youth to drink, sing, fornicate, that sort of thing. Then we lost a pair of lovebirds in a salamander attack. It's been abandoned ever since. At least we thought so. Of course they did. They'd already declared Emil guilty of the murder. Can't lose face over something like this. You got a confession, Milleron, just let it go. Humph. They're just anxious to be done with this whole affair. That's the other thing. Haladan looked like he'd been thrown off a cliff. Legs broken, blood leaking out of his ears, collapsed ribcage. You tell me how a wiry Breton could do that to someone. Doesn't make a whit of sense. Unless he can conjure up a stone club the size of an ox yoke, I just can't imagine it. I'll tell you to examine the body yourself, but the Sapiarchs already burned it. Convenient. This business with Emil was just too odd. Once the Sapiarchs convicted...
Please. Who's there? Please don't hurt me. I mean you no harm. Emil? Is that you? Where is Haladon? Is he all right? Auriel, forgive me. Please listen carefully. Emil did not murder Haladon. I swear it. The two of them only sought to help me. I suffered from a mysterious affliction. Haladon and Emil infected me with vampirism to halt the disease's progress. Gods, no! I came here with my companion Gerwadel. By the time we arrived, her illness was terminal. Emil tried to administer the cure to her too, but she broke free and attacked Haladon. There was so much shouting. I thought maybe they escaped. Stone abominations. Vampiric alchemy. If the Sapiarchs found out that Haladon had a hand in this tragedy, they would strike his name from the histories. Emil would never let that happen. Read Haladon's notes, you'll see the truth of it. Absolutely. Haladon and Emil loved each other deeply. It was obvious from the moment I arrived. Emil would never let something he did jeopardize Haladon's reputation. Were their roles reversed, Haladon would do the same thing. Guaranteed. I don't think you understand the Sapiarchs. It wouldn't be a simple matter of not praying over Haladon's grave. They would expunge his memory entirely. Every discovery he made, every scholarly paper, everything. It would be like he never existed. Undoubtedly. The Sapiarchs would probably dispatch a few vampire hunters to find me. But don't worry about that. I'll find a way to take care of myself. I believe so. The fog is gone. The flop sweats in sleepless nights with dreams of blood and stone. But the cost was high. Too high. Poor Haladon. And now there's the hunger. Yes, I can feel it creeping up the back of my throat. That thirst. It was just a tickle at first. Now, who knows how far it will go? Emil brewed this form of the virus alchemically. Maybe this will pass and I won't need to feed it all. I can hope. Never. Enough people have suffered on my account. Anyway, how would I find them? The shale skin disease claimed my sight before Emil had the chance to administer the treatment. I will find a way to survive without harming others. You have my word. My new condition does have a few benefits. My senses are keener now than they've ever been. I can hear the flutter of a moth's wings and smell lichens in the next room. It's enough. It will have to be enough. They called it osteochondritic fever, a rare virus that hardens the skin like stone and oyster shell. And as if that weren't bad enough, it also drives you insane. Gerwadel had already succumbed to the madness when she attacked Haladon. We were part of a merchant fleet that got blown off course, wound up beached on an island full of slowed mischief. Something in the air there, or perhaps the water. All of us were infected. So far as I know, I'm the only one that survived. Truthfully, because he was the kindest, most generous mayor I've ever known. We were childhood friends, you see. When I wrote to him about my condition, he didn't even hesitate. He just bid me come to Lilandra, no questions asked. Hurry to Lilandra, prove Emil's innocence. I'll find my way. Somehow.
Well?
You again? I told you, I don't want to talk about this. I'm guilty. What? No. No, you're mistaken. No. You can't believe her. She's lying. I attacked Haladon. I killed him. You're making this up. No one will believe it. No. Please, you must burn those notes. If the Sapiarchs learn what Haladon and I did, he'll be ruined. Disgraced. All his work will be for nothing. And Norasea. Mara, save me. Poor Norasea. They'll kill her. Please, you must keep this a secret.
Poor Emil. He meant well. But these are shocking revelations. I never thought he'd be so reckless. Creating a potion to deliberately infect someone with vampirism? By the eight. If this gets out, the Sapiarchs may never trust us again. I care for Emil, but I have a whole guild to consider. We've brought many outsiders to Summerset, and our relations here are tenuous at best. Even if Emil didn't murder Haladon, creating a potion this hazardous is still grounds for exile. I spoke to Sapiarch Saratarel. If Emil makes a full confession, the Sapiarchs will let us handle the details of his imprisonment. I've arranged for Emil to return to Stormhaven. A familiar setting, sympathetic guards. It's the best I can do. No. But then, there are many forms of freedom. Wouldn't you agree? Emil will have access to our vast library and ample opportunity to write and publish. He can still play a vital role in the advancement of the arcane arts. You have my word.
By Magnus, if what you say is true, Emil's innocent. You seem hesitant. Don't get bogged down in the details of his experiments. The important thing is that he didn't murder Haladon. You have to take this to the Sapiarchs. She's a vampire. I grew up in Shornhelm, and I know how dangerous they are. They drink people's blood for Mara's sake. Look, I pity Norasea, but we can't destroy Emil's life over one bad decision. Setting a vampire free is reckless. You know that. Haladon's dead, and if he truly loved Emil, he would gladly suffer humiliation to keep his beloved out of prison. You know that. As for the Guild endures. We'll be fine. Just do the right thing.
There's nothing to consider. Even if I didn't kill Haladon, the vampirism was my idea. He never would have agreed to it if I hadn't pushed him. Haladon meant more to me than you'll ever know. His memory is all I have left. Don't ruin it. Please. Oh, Mara bless you. Losing Haladon was awful. I still see his bloody face with my waking eyes. The only thing keeping me sane is the knowledge that I might spare his reputation and the friend he dearly loved. Thank you.
You have new evidence to present? Very well. I trust your investigation was thorough and unbiased? Or rather, as thorough and unbiased as an itinerant newcomer can manage. What new evidence do you wish to enter into the official record? Well, that is a surprise. As farcical as your investigation might have been, I appreciate your willingness to side with the facts. It does much to restore my opinion of the Mages Guild in Lilandril. I've already spoken with the guild diplomat, Kalawende. We resolved to send Emil back to Stormhaven. Leaving a Breton to rattle around in a high elf prison would reflect poorly on all of us. Better to imprison him among his own kind. Mercifully, yes. The Mages Guild promised to imprison Emil for the rest of his brief Breton life. I have no reason to doubt their sincerity, given your honesty today. Let us put this matter behind us. The Guild and the Sapiarchs must move forward. Now then, I see no reason to delay Emil's exile. I will formalize his conviction today, and have him turned over to the Mages Guild shortly thereafter. This sordid affair has caused enough pain. I'll not draw it out. Your honesty and Kalawende's willingness to accede to our demands give me hope for the future. The Mages Guild suffers from all the vices of youth, but perhaps, with our help, it can grow into an organization worthy of its proud high elf heritage.
Rain to reach her glistening hand, but into the depths she fell. On the beach I wander still, gaze out at the sea.
Who in oblivion are you? I left explicit instructions with the manager of this establishment that I was not to be disturbed under any circumstances. Let's keep our voice down, shall we? So, the Hulkind disappoints once again. How utterly expected. As the one who delivered my parcel, I suspect you'll want the reward. Have it, and be off with you. I'm astonished the Hulkind refused to complete this task himself. I'm sure honest work isn't easy to come by for one of his status. You do not, cannot understand the painstaking preparation, the ritual consumption, and the artful flavors of an Indrik heart. It is a delicacy fit for only the finest gourmets. The question itself betrays your unworthiness for such pleasures. Something more important than the obligation he had to me. Hulkins have no sense of honor. It comes with being raised without a family, you know. That's why no one trusts them. Of course, an femme such as yourself wouldn't understand. A family sets expectations. Here in Summerset, all we do is for our family's honor. There's no hope for someone who doesn't have even that to guide them.
I've checked over Lillandrill from top to bottom, and there's no sign of the Court of Bedlam. I can't get the Portal Master to let me go to the college compound, though. Have you brought permission from the Proxy Queen? Good, good. I was about to turn that insignificant book dust into something small, wet, and slimy. It would have made matters worse, but it might have brightened the dark mood I've been in. Sorry, I don't mean to burden you with my troubles. No, the mission is more important than personal matters. I'm sure Lathan will turn up, eventually. In the meantime, you should talk to the Portal Master and see if she's ready to grant us access to the college. Lathan and I met when we were initiates of the Sijic Order. We fell in love and married, had a daughter. We had all the things we ever wanted. And then everything changed. After we lost our daughter, Lathan grew distant, more subdued. It happened ages ago, after a long illness. We lived on an island filled with the most accomplished sages of our age, and there was nothing that could be done. We tried. I tried. But the illness took her in the end. Lathan was never the same. No, it wasn't like that. When the Rite Master first learned of the possible Daedric threat, Lathan volunteered to look into it. We both thought it would be good for Lathan to get away, give him something to occupy his time. Then he disappeared. Lathan's reports became less frequent. Then he stopped sending them altogether. I'd know if he was dead, but he could be a prisoner or hurt. My main concern right now is the threat posed by the Daedric princes. Lathan will have to wait.
Not now, please. I really must prepare for tonight's lecture. Besides, only those with permission may enter the College of Sapiarchs. We can't have just anyone wandering around the compound. So you're the luminary the Proxy Queen wants me to treat with kid gloves. And I suppose the arrogant Sijic is with you? Oh, very well. Let's get this over with. The compound has been purposely isolated to serve as a sanctuary and place of study. Research and scholarship require solitude and quiet, after all. We use magic to travel back and forth. I'll prepare the portal dais when you're ready to cross. Just follow me and step onto the dais. By the 7 sacred texts! Who has dared invade this place of learning?
I've got this. You talk to that Sapiarch.
This is unheard of. Attacked in our own sanctuary? This is terrible. Please excuse my present state, as I am distraught beyond all rational thought. I never imagined that Daedra would attack our compound. It's madness. Forgive my lapse in protocol. I am Elamil, Sapiarch of Daedric fallacies. Happened? Oh, it isn't over yet. There was no warning. Daedra filled the compound. So many great minds cut down. We were able to clear the courtyard, but there's more inside. I fear for the safety of the head Sapiarch and our other sages. The Crystal Tower? You need to speak to Lanatil, Sapiarch of Arcanology and head of our college. She's trapped inside with those monsters. I suggest you enter through the labyrinth beneath the compound. Just watch out for the Daedra.
According to the maps I studied, the labyrinth is this way.
I'll return to Lelondril and warn the guards.
Good idea. Perhaps I should accompany you.
There's more to this than a simple Daedric incursion. I felt a strange sensation when we arrived. A sense of urgency. We need to hurry and find the trapped Sapiarchs. Sometimes. Probably has something to do with living on a displaced island and being part of the Psijic Order. We knew the 3 Daedric princes were a threat, but this is our first clear evidence of their hostile intent. Even scholars have ways to defend themselves. Which reminds me, I can protect myself, but I'm not much good in a raging battle. I'll try to stay behind you and keep out of the way. Now, let's hurry and go save the Sapiarchs.
The father has sealed this place, mortal flea!
By the stars! This place is enormous!
The father has sealed this place, mortal flea!
I'd like to explore this compound one day, when fewer Daedra are about, of course.
seal this place, mortal flea! Seal this place, mortal flea!
I hear voices up ahead.
Teachers need die today, Sapiarch. Just give me the diamond
The
keys.
resolute diamonds are not mine to give, especially not to a Daedric cultist. Nathan, stop!
Valkyrie! No, Capital!
You and your companion arrived in the proverbial nick of time. Now, if you wouldn't mind, who in Oblivion are you, and how did you know the College of Sapiarchs was under assault? First, the cultist leads an army of Daedra into our compound and demands I turn over the Resolute Diamonds. Now, you arrive with a warning from the long-absent sages of Artaeum. I think you need to explain yourself before we go any further. That's impossible. We would know if the tower's defenses had been breached. But it would explain the disasters currently befalling the Summerset Isle. Let's say I believe you. What does the Right Master suggest as the next step? A reasonable plan. But access to the tower requires the Resolute Diamonds, which are guarded by the tower's sentinels. Only they can use the keys. I suppose they are the next targets. We need to warn Hanail and Imidril at the Illumination Academy. We appreciate your aid in this matter. Before you head to the Illumination Academy, perhaps you can have your friend get that cultist out of my compound. As it is, it's going to take weeks to get rid of the stench of Daedra. Every 11 years, 2 Sapiarchs are selected to undergo a long and extensive ritual to attune them to the Resolute Diamonds, the keys that open the Crystal Tower. These sentinels guard the diamonds and utilize them to grant access to the tower. The Azure Diamonds are a matched set, specifically attuned to a pair of Sapiarchs at any given time. Only an attuned sentinel can use a diamond key, and both keys are required to open the path into the tower. Who can say how much the cultist actually knows about the diamonds and their function? The Daedric prince he serves, however, has magic enough to utilize the diamonds. That's why we must make sure the sentinels are safe and out of harm's way. In addition to their sentinel duties, Hanail and Imidril also serve as scholars in the College of Sapiarchs. They have research to conduct, lectures to give. For their own protection, however, their identities as sentinels are known only to a few. That's our standard practice. Difficult times call for desperate measures, however. You need to know who they are so you can find them and return them to our compound. Hanail needed to use the Academy Library, and Imidril accompanied her. Let's leave these Sijiks to their work. We have a college to put back together.
I can't believe I was concerned about the welfare of my husband. To find Lathan here, threatening the Sapiarchs and leading a horde of Daedra. How could he betray the Order like that? How could he betray me? A simple spell of binding. His attention was so focused on the Sapiarchs, he wasn't prepared to deal with another Sijik mage. While you go and find the Tower Sentinels at the Illumination Academy, I'll take Lathan back to Artaeum. I almost hope he gives me a little trouble. I could use a reason to unleash some pain and suffering on this turncoat. Don't worry. My spell will hold until we reach the confines of Kapora Tower.
You there. Tell my darling wife to release me, and I'll ask Mathala to kill you quickly when the new age dawns. Spinner saved me from fools and altruistic adventurers. Valsrin turned her back on me and my daughter a long time ago. Is it any wonder I've found acceptance and a purpose among the court of Bedlam? Don't presume to judge my actions, you insignificant flea. I am an earl in the court of Bedlam now, chosen personally by Mathala to represent her on this all-too-fragile world. Leave me. I'm done speaking to you now.
Five Claw. You always arrive just when Raz needs you most. After Raz spoke to the pretty Sigi Coriandra, whispers reached me about the illustrious Illumination Academy. They said that the Court of Bedlam hunts a Sapiarch there, so Raz had to come and see. Didn't expect to find you here helping out, though. So the Crystal Tower really is in danger. This one finds that so hard to believe. The Crystal Tower, it's a bastion, a symbol of everything the High Elves hold dear. The Queen would be very cross with Raz if anything bad happened to the tower. Now Raz sees why the Court of Bedlam seeks these particular sages. Very well, no need to twist this one's tail. Raz will help you save the Sapiarchs from the demented Daedric cultists. Let's look in the guest wing on the west side of the compound. This way. Follow Raz.
New arrivals? I wasn't told to expect any students or scholars today. Sorry, they usually let me know when new academics are going to arrive. I'm sure I can find a way to squeeze you in someplace. How long do you plan on staying? Sure. They arrived a few days ago, but only Sapiarch Hanael stayed. She's working on a book of some sort. I think that's what she told me. Don't know where the other one scampered off to. She hasn't been back to her room in quite a while, though. I wouldn't think so. She left all her things in her room. Notes, valuable tomes. Not the sorts of items a sage would leave behind. Maybe she just got caught up in the nonsense outside. You can examine her room if you like. It's right over there.
The Sapiarch's letter. She's hidden a coded message in the words. Raz has seen this done before. Hanael mentions something isn't right here, that she plans to hide in a quiet room. Very smart. It seems the Sapiarch knows that someone is hunting her. The list of specific books in a specific order, though. That's the key, Raz thinks. We need to find the books and the podiums, if Raz has deciphered the meaning of her code correctly. Let's hope we can find her before the Court of Bedlam does. That is disturbing news. The Queen hates Daedric machinations, especially the most overt ones. Let us hurry and try to find the Sapiarch. A vanishing bookcase. Raz likes this clever sage.
Who are you? If you're the person that's been following me, I warn you, I'll scream. I knew I wasn't imagining things. I told Imidril that we were being followed. If the head of the College of Sapiarchs sent you and told you we guarded the Resolute Diamonds, it must be a serious matter. Something involving the other alliances? Daedric princes, you say? As in more than one? That doesn't sound very good. Imidril went to King's Haven, not too far from here. The old ruins. He loves to poke around in that place every chance he gets. But I'm still a bit confused.
Raz will explain things to the pretty Sapiarch and make sure she returns safely to Lilandril. You go find the one in the ruins.
quickly! The Fallah's damn webbing. It's in all my nooks and crannies. Thanks for helping, though. No! Save the Dawnstar gem!
The spider poison, it's spreading fast. Take this, resolute diamond. Don't let the Golden Knight sacrifice be in vain. Then you know we're Tower Sentinels, guardians of the diamond keys that open the Crystal Tower. Please, make sure my diamond remains safe. Mavala, Prince of the Secret Arts. She sought my diamond, but also seemed very interested in the Golden Knight. I fear she's taken him to the Spiral Skein. Tell Hanaya I'm sorry.
Ah, there you are. The Right Master needs you back in Artaeum immediately. Find him in Kapora Tower as soon as you can.
That's a very meaning... The divine prosecution never rests.
Mastering a weapon.
A good suit.
Can't you see I'm busy?
The regard.
I understand.